I'm not going to feign excitement about this whole thing. I read it when it came out. I felt familiar with it all off season. I sat down and read it again this morning to make sure I was all gussied up. And so here we are, Larry Krueger. If you would like to understand how the in-season tournament works, call us right now and we will break it all down for you. Oh, how come the lines aren't lit up?
What? We're breaking it all down?
Yeah, how come the lines aren't lit up? I don't understand what's going on here. This is embarrassing.
Light them up.
I don't know what to do. Yeah, your in-season tournament headquarters
we'll take
right here on 95.7 The Game.
We'll take them in the order they come in.
Now the phone's ringing a little bit. Yeah, I don't know what to say about this, man. I really don't. Like it's just it's a thing. The court will look different. Okay, that's fine. But I think that the NBA is made up of very smart people. I actually think that Adam Silver's a pretty good commissioner. I really do. I think he's done some interesting things. Smart people sat in a room, quite frankly, for years, trying to figure out some new ideas. The fact that this is what they came up with is kind of a head scratcher.
What we need to do.
This is what we got. Yeah. Honestly,
come on, they're grasping. They're grasping, right? I mean, they're grasping at straws. They're just dipping their toe in the water. They're trying to figure out what's going to work, what's not going to work. There's several things with the league that need upgrading. All-Star Weekend is a tire fire. The dunk contest is trash.
Totally.
But everything else with All-Star Weekend is just, I mean, it's a snooze. It used to be like,
I agree,
must watch. You can't miss the dunk contest. Now it's like, I'll DVR it.
Yeah, but the All-Star thing, I mean, give me the sport where you're still into the All-Stars. Give me.
My kid, young kids. Maybe that's an age thing too.
No, my sons love sitting down and watching the home run derby. Well, they absolutely do.
Okay, but but
not the game. They're more into the derby.
Baseball
than the game.
screwed up. Baseball screwed up because you can't identify a lot of baseball players, and I think all these All-Star the leagues have screwed up the All-Star game because people want to see the different uniforms, and instead it's like they're all going to wear drab uniforms that we all put. I mean, and there's going to be a little patch on their sleeve that says Mariners. It's like okay, great baseball. The only identifiable guy in your All-Star game last year was Aaron Judge. Everybody else, if you're sitting in the upper deck, you're like, I don't know what I'm watching.
You can feel it as a Giants fan. When they announced Alex Cobb, you're like looking around going, is anybody like,
where is he?
Yeah. You've heard of Alex Cobb?
I mean, one of the coolest things as a kid was being able to see the uniforms, seeing your team's uniforms. And so they got to bring that back in baseball and in basketball, I think. Basketball, the format's bad. What do I care who LeBron picks first or who KD picks first? I don't care. I don't know KD and I don't know LeBron and I don't know the inner workings. And they might be picking their buddy who they have the same agent or some guy that they used to. I mean, it's somewhat interesting, I guess, if you're super, super into the gossip behind the who likes who and that whole thing. But I think the whole format is a snooze. So the NBA is grasping, and I think we kind of hit on something, though, in this last conversation, which is college basketball owns March because people love the format. When you tune into the tourney, no matter what game, no matter what round, the basics before you sit down. Even if you're in a sports bar and you're looking at the screen, if it's the NCAA tournament, the winner goes on and the loser's season is over. Mm-hmm. And there's a simplicity to that format that doesn't have to be explained. You don't need a piece of paper. No, it needs nothing. And it creates urgency. The NBA doesn't have that. Now, the season's so long and you can't make the whole playoffs that way. But if you're going to have 16 teams, you're going to have 53% of the league making it to the playoffs, then I kind of would be in favor of giving the top teams maybe a first round bye and playing that win and move. You win, you move on. You lose, you go home for the bottom of the playoff seeds. And it's one game, but that's why you got to be a top 4 seed. And that right there would eliminate I think a lot of the load management, because now it's like if you're the Warriors and you got the players, we'd like to be the top seed. We prefer to be a top 4 seed. But you know what? If we're a 5 seed, we're a 5 seed. We can do it. You want to have you want those seeds to be like golden. Like we need the first round bye.
Gotta mean something.
And it's got to be punitive if you don't, so that you're like, hey, you know what? If we get into a 1-game situation, our season could be could end tonight.
You know what?
Because if we just don't play well tonight, and
right,
I think,
but the more I think about it, as I'm listening to you talk, you got to be real careful here, because and I know that maybe this is skewed because we live in the Bay Area. It's not a college sports market, but how many people do you know, and you can expand well beyond the people you know here, who are like super diehard college basketball fans?
Nobody, but there's tons of people who. Okay. My wife is not she's got a bracket.
Right. They have a bracket, but here's what I'm getting at. Do you know why we like the March Madness format?
Because of the bracket.
Because we don't care. Therefore, when a team that went 30-4 and is ticketed for the title goes out there, has a bad Thursday in the middle of March, and gets knocked out by Lehigh, we don't give a crap.
Okay,
if that happened to the Warriors, we would freak the hell out. You're going to tell me that we're going to make this all about one night?
Let me ask you this.
One NBA game, Steph's off, and now our whole season is over?
I hear you.
We wouldn't accept that.
But you got it's a trade-off.
You got Braves and Dodgers fans.
Do you like load management, or do you want guys playing in the regular season with urgency? How about take the top 4 seeds and give them, they're moving on, or the bottom 4 seeds? I mean, how many teams in the last 20 years have won the NBA title out of the 5, 6, 7, or 8 seed? NBA title.
How many years?
Last 20 years. What would you guess? I don't know the answer. I hate it.
I feel like it's only happened once or twice, and it was not in the last 20 years.
Right.
I would guess 0.
So these teams, it's not like you're taking a title away from the team.
Of course not. It's a show. We know it's a show.
And what you're trading is the urgency of the one and done for buying back the kind of the credibility of the regular season.
Well, but maybe that's a problem with the ideas that we're coming up with, though, because
they're never going to cut the games, so that's not an option.
I know, but we're saying, we got to make the 1 seed this thing where you get a bye and it's worth more. Maybe the 1 seed is like, we're not stressed about the 8 seed. We know we're going to beat them. It's the NBA. The 8 seed almost never beats the 1 seed. Shout out, we believe. I see you. But you know what I mean?
But I mean, I'm saying forget the 8-1 seed. Cancel that whole thing.
I agree with you.
The Warriors beat the Mavericks in 07 or whatever. But I mean, other than that, I mean, the 8s don't beat the 1s. So maybe give the top 2 seeds a first-round bye.
How are you making up the money?
You're making up the... First of all, I'm not that concerned about the money for one reason.
They are.
Well, you shouldn't be, because you're just tapping into a gold mine of gambling right now. That's a whole new revenue pie. And I think where the payoff is you're making the regular season more urgent. Their ratings would be better in the regular season. This whole tournament that we're going to start tonight is born out of the fact that nobody gives a damn about the NBA until Christmas.
Yeah, but
I do, you do, but the public doesn't. So that's why Silver's got this thing going.
Right. I'm tapped into tonight. Why? Because the Warriors are playing.
Right.
I don't know if I'm going to get to see the whole thing live. I have. You want to feel old
hot
with
date?
me? I do have a hot date.
Do you?
She's coming with me, but we're going to see some other people too. You want to know what we're doing tonight? It is my 30th year high school reunion.
I just had my 35 year. Yeah. What high school? Your
San Mateo High School.
San Mateo, class of 80.
Shout out to all my Bearcats coming to see few hours from now. We'll get together. I'm looking for a Manhattan on the rocks, and let's catch up a little bit. So if you're listening, I can't wait to come see y'all. But yeah,
you're class of 93.
Class of 93.
Class of 93. Yeah. So you're 5 years behind me.
Yeah. So anyway, I don't know, but my larger point.
Those are fun, though.
No, but
you sound like you don't want to go.
No. Of course I want to go. I can't wait. There's a bunch of people I can't wait to see.
Is it just like mine was just the class?
Yeah, just the class. What are we inviting 94 also?
No.
Give them an appetizer.
Like, are you bringing a date?
Yes.
Well, so it's not just your class. It's your class and your dates.
You can bring +1s. Not everybody is.
Yeah.
I happen to like my my partner.
See,
so she's coming with me.
I went to St. Ignatius, was an all-guys school, and it was just dudes.
So none of you had dates.
So none of us had dates.
You couldn't get dates.
Well, most of us are, who knows? Who knows? Maybe some could, some couldn't. I won't judge it. But we just had it the other day at the Italian Athletic Club, and it was good to see the dudes.
Yeah, how was
it? It was good.
Everybody looked great. Everybody's got their hair. Everybody's got their health.
No,
of course not.
No, I would say I was shocked. The thing that was the most shocking to me is how many guys are just Adam Silver.
Gone. They went bald.
Not just sort of bald, but
shave that sucker.
Just nothing.
Well, don't do that hoop around the back of your head thing. If it's gone, let it go.
Okay,
I'm with
you're
dibs.
Right.
If I ever get there,
right.
If I've got that horseshoe around the back of my head, it's gone.
The monk look.
Yeah, we're out. I don't need to do that. Paul Feinbaum or whatever that crap is.
It's kind of shiny.
Yeah, don't do that. Just let it go.
But it's all about your head, man.
Yeah,
it's what kind of head you got. If you got a good looking head, that's one thing.
I don't know what's under there. I did wear a ball cap.
Have you ever shaved your head?
Yes.
Yeah.
In college. What did
it look like?
I was the most handsome man I'd ever seen.
Really?
No, whatever. It looked fine. But that's college.
Yeah.
Shave it, it's back in a week and a half.
Yeah.
No big deal. But anyway, I digress.
We digress, yes.
The point is that
a lot of bald dudes.
I believe there will be some, yes. Yeah. But
it was a co-ed school for you, so then you can get...
Exactly.
Did you have a high school flame? Who is she going to be there?
I had many, Larry.
Look at that.
No, not really. No, I actually didn't in my class.
There's a dynamic at your reunion that's going to be quite spicy.
Look, I already had
Lori.
I already had my 20th 10 years ago.
Yeah.
And yes, some of those old
people
dynamics. I don't know what they did when they left. My point is, snap of a finger. It's like you two still get a room, get out. Like, what is the matter with you? You all have kids. Some of you you're already divorced or whatever. Like, what are you doing?
Right.
But like the minute they walk in the room, it's like it just rekindles and it just
all of a sudden
5 seconds.
Yeah.
It's like, oh my God, look at these people. Anyway.
I've never stopped loving you. I've thought about you constantly.
Listen.
I wanted to call you. I've driven by your house at night.
Exactly. I staked out across the street last week.
That's me with the binoculars.
After 3 drinks, people will do anything. Oh, so anyway.
It's going to be juicy.
But I
can't wait to hear about that.
We work
I'll be here Monday for this. This is going to be awesome.
Full update. But we work at the home of the Warriors. We're tapped in every time they play.
Yeah.
But is anybody more into this tonight because the court's going to be blue? And the Warriors might end up in Vegas. We live in a time where sports are so hyper aware of injury. Think about that now. A lot of what we talk about when we talk about analytics isn't whether or not you should bunt with a runner at second. It's about the human body. And when the Lakers mentioned it last year, they talked about Anthony Davis having a, quote, scheduled night off right in the middle of the race for the playoffs. And Laker fans were like, what gives? And they're like, oh, we set that schedule back in October. Like, wow. I guarantee you, some of these NBA teams have a map already.
How many season ticket holders, upon hearing that, would like to have a scheduled night off for their season tickets? Hey, you know what? I paid $2,700 for the pair, but you know what? Tonight I'm taking a scheduled night off.
That's right. I'd like $2,000 back, please.
It's my financial load management.
I would love to manage.
Seriously, that might be the answer to load management. Is let the season ticket holders load manage.
Maybe, but that's
they'd never do that.
No, we're so hyper aware of health that I would argue as a fan, I don't want the Warriors to do this. I don't want them to win. I don't want them to play extra games. You're already sitting here telling me you won't play all the games that we've got. Now you're going to add more? So if you win the in-season tournament, does that mean you're taking the regular game that I bought tickets to off the next week? You better not. So I'm not rooting against the Warriors because I don't root against the Warriors, but I don't want them in this.
Well, but they can load management through this too, right?
Oh, God. Of course they can.
I bet you there's some internal memo there's some internal league memo. Please do not load management
for sure
against, in these tourney games, because we're telling everybody, come on. And you're like, hey, you know what? I'm sitting this one out.